During last week's handing over, Kathy Martin, then chair of the SVG National Trust when the excavation work began in 2009, gave us some insights as to how that work got started.
Because this story goes back to 1540, and a lot has happened since 1540, but the first we knew of it, the first little clue, was an American archaeologist called Louis Allaire, who came here and found a little bit of pot, Amerindian pot, with a European bead in it, and he said, something's happening here. When the airport started, the National Trust jumped into Dr. Matthias' office with great gusto and said, we have such a heritage at Argyle and we don't want it to be lost. So between us we managed to get archaeologists from Canada to come down. And they did excavations over there, a different period, a different site. However, in all this time, I myself got really involved in this interest in science and art. And I went to the Caribbean Congress of Archaeologists. And I met Dr. Ari Boomert, who is a ceramics expert from University of Leiden, and he was currently examining Cayos pottery, which is the pottery first identified by Earl Kirby up in Sandy Bay, and it was named after the Cayos River. So I said to Ari, are you interested in this site? We think it's only Cayoid, but we want you to come and prove it to us. So later on, Professor Corinne Hoffman and her husband, Dr. Meno Hoagland, came along and did preliminary investigations, and then they came another year and did more, and another year and did more. We're talking now about 2009, 10, 11. And eventually we had what we thought was the best team in the Caribbean working on this very special Kalinago village.
Speaking at the handing over, Minister of Tourism and Culture Cecil Mackey expressed satisfaction with the completion of the first hut.
We are fortunate to have expertise from the Leiden University who have come here with us, not only for these last 2 weeks, but they have been involved with us over the years, and they have come here and lent their expertise in reconstructing what we believe tells the story of what was here originally. But in addition to that, they have also shared that expertise with local personnel. And with us here this afternoon, we would have had persons who would have come here for a couple of days, a week or more. And therefore, they are now equipped with the expertise to continue the construction of this village. This is the first of 5 longhouses that I think we are going to be constructing, and then there is a larger longhouse that also will be constructed, and this will be done over time. What we have also been fortunate to do is to have all of the material used here local material, and we have more or less used traditional tools that would have been used by the Kalinago persons years ago in this construction, staying away as far as possible from modern tools. In the construction of the other buildings, we might have to make some adjustments, but we want to ensure that the end product looks as close as possible to this.
Head of the Leiden team, which carried out the experimental work, Dr. Meno Hoagland, expressed gratitude for his team to be able to work on the restoration of the village.
My team and we are very honored that we can contribute to the cultural heritage of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. and we are very grateful that we could work with the Ministry of Tourism, with the International Airport Development Company, and the support we have had from forestry. We have a collaborator from the Parks Authority, and we have had a lot of support from local communities. For example, the community of Gregs, who helped us with building material, who gave us advice what kind of binding material we could use, and I think that we are very proud that we could contribute to such an important aspect of the cultural heritage of St. Vincent. And this house and this village will be, I think, of importance for all the local communities on the island, whether they are Kalinago or Karifuna, since this house represents the ancestors of the people who are living now in St. Vincent.
Area Representative Frederick Stephenson expressed his delight in having the restoration of the village in his constituency and thanked those involved.
I've been here every day since Monday, and I'm here this afternoon to see the finished product of one of these. There's 6 houses which would be constructed here. I'm excited. I know that this site would be a very welcome site for the addition of the number of tourism sites that we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It would complement the backdrop what we have here, the Argyle International Airport, and just beyond that hill there's a beautiful waterfall that I don't think many of you know, that is just located just there on the opposite side of the airport, which would also be developed as part of another tourism product in this area to complement, as I said, the international airport and what we have down at Warraku. I'm grateful to the Professor Hoffman and the University of Leiden for coming to St. Vincent since 2009 and being a part of the wonderful works that we've been doing here. I want to recognize the presence of the returning nationals here, who most of them live in this constituency, and
A lot of them.
most of them who live in this constituency and who have been partnering with the IDC over the years since the construction of this Argyle International Airport. I want also to recognize and to thank the guys from the forestry department who've been here, and 2 weeks ago when we came, this whole area was full of bush, and I want to thank them for the work that they did in clearing the site here for us in terms of having this wonderful construction. This is the start of many things to happen here at Argyle, as you heard the minister said, and I'm sure that all Vincentians will appreciate what has been done and will continue to do for the further development and advancement of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Following this, we witnessed the ceremonial opening of the hut. Meanwhile, work continues apace on the construction of the Argyle International Airport. The work on the site at this time is widespread and activity is at an all-time high as we keep our eyes firmly on the opening of the AIA in 2016. But even with the widespread work on the airport, there are some areas that are receiving more focus than others. For example, on the Petroglyph Hill, the work on removing those rocks is moving rapidly to free up that area to accommodate the fencing. Running parallel to this is the runway between the 191 and 220 channels, on which we are seeing substantial compaction work taking place. Similar work as we are seeing at the Petroglyph Hill is also taking place at Makoni Yami Hill. In the meantime, fencing work is taking place in areas of the site that are already cleared and available to be fenced. Further into the first kilometer overlooking the Stubbs Bay is the backwater being constructed to facilitate the placement of the lights at the end of the runway. Back over in the second kilometer of the site, west of the passenger terminal building, the work on the extended commercial apron is coming close to wrapping up. As a result of the extended apron, we also have an extended Alpha taxiway, where work is progressing nicely, with work already started on the second strip of that taxiway. This is all for today. Join us again next time when we'll have more for you. Good evening.